vowed not to support or any additional monies onto that. So I don't know what's going to happen with the continuing resolution. And that's only until November 17th, I think it is. And as far as what we're doing in the office, in our office in Tucson, we do lots and lots of casework. If anybody needs any assistance with a federal agency, please feel free to contact us at any time. And that's through email or by phone or in writing. We're happy to help with anything that we can. But that's about it.
Well, thank you. And I knew you were doing something.
You know we're doing something.
You're getting yourself out of trouble.
You mind if I put this next to you so we can get a clear shot of Kathy? You don't have to see me, just
I have no idea.
just point it at her.
And now,
Above the red buttons.
Thank you, Sam. Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to be here. Well, actually, Pat McCord invited me to be here. And I said to Pat, what do you want to talk about? Should I talk about chamber? Should I talk about tourism? He said, no, I want you to talk about Cowboy Hall of Fame. I said, do you want me to talk about chamber? Do you want me to talk about tourism? Because I didn't have a lot of knowledge on Cowboy Hall of Fame, believe it or not, a lot of history. I came here 8 years ago, and ever since then, we've been doing Cowboy Hall of Fame. But Eddie Browning is our guru for Cowboy Hall of Fame. So I went to the lady with all the knowledge about Willcox, Ellen Clark, and I said to Ellen Clark, tell me a little bit about Cowboy Hall of Fame. And about 14 emails later, I think I got the whole story. So, Ellen was asked to sit on a committee for the Department of Commerce, and they were trying to figure out what made communities different from each other. And so Ellen was given the challenge of figuring out what makes Willcox Willcox. And she thought that was going to be relatively easy because it would be the interstate, the railroad, the access to Mexico, you know. And after talking to a lot of people, she found out that that was not the number one, what makes Willcox Willcox. It was the people. And people consistently told her that Willcox, unlike a lot of communities, is very self-sustaining. We come from the cowboy here, and the cowboys were always very, I mean, you couldn't get on your horse and run to Tucson for, you know, your local Walmart, and you couldn't get on your horse and run to Benson without, you know, so you had to survive on what you had here. And so Ellen came up with trying to figure out how they honor the people that were in the valley here, and what she could do to help promote Willcox to the people of Willcox. She met with a lot of people. She said, I drank a lot of coffee. I spent a lot of time, you know, at the local coffee shop, and her and Carl Clapp were having coffee one morning, and Carl suggested that Ellen figure out a way to honor the cowboy. And so Ellen said, you know, we can do that. We can, you know, how are we going to do that, Carl? Carl said, I don't know, Ellen, that's why you get paid the big bucks. You come up with how you're going to do this. And so Ellen went back to the coffee shops, talked to a lot more people, and she found Ernest Browning, who had just been inducted into the National Cowboy Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And Carl and Ellen and Ernest got together, and they decided that they were going to come up with the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And so Ellen went to the city of Willcox. City of Willcox, are you listening? She went to the city of Willcox and she said, we want to do a dinner, and we want to use the community center. And And they said, sure, Ellen, you can use the community center. And she said, and I want you guys to help me get things set up. And I need somebody to cook steaks. I'll cook the dinner, but I need somebody to cook the steaks. And so she went to the local packing house, she got the steaks, she sent out the invitations. Her and Ernest and Carl worked together. They figured out who they were going to induct that first year, one being Ernest Browning. And she went to the community center, she cleaned all day long, she got everything set up, and Freddie Ramirez, who was an employee of the city of Willcox, came. We've been talking a lot about partnerships, that's why. Freddie Ramirez came and cooked steaks. They had about 150 people, and that was their first Cowboy Hall of Fame dinner, and it was held at the community center in 1983. Their first MCs were Lauren Price and my notes are a little tacky here. And
I spilled my coleslaw on you.
and Glenn Nelson, and they were the MCs for about 3 or 4 years, and they did it every year for Ellen. Carl Clapp painted the first portraits. In fact, Carl did the first 9 portraits, Ellen thinks, and the chamber was supposed to pay him for that, the work that he did, which we never did. And so then Carl asked the chamber if they would just pay for the framing of the portraits. And Ellen said, oh, I think we can do that, Carl, but you order them, and then we'll pay you, which we never did. So we have 9 portraits from Carl Clapp. The first ones are in the Rex Allen Museum. All of the Cowboy Hall of Fame portraits are now located they're on loan from the chamber to the Rex Allen Museum. So that was the first 2 or 3 years. The first inductees to the Cowboy Hall of Fame were Ernest Browning, Bill Busenbart, Ben Sanders and Ted Cortson, Ray Wine, W-I-E-N, Harry Summers. These were the first inductees in 1983 into the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And Ellen worked every year with the city of Willcox to put on the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And it has grown tremendously since 1983. We have doubled our participation. Our attendees, we are now, this next week, we will be serving over 300 people at the community center. We are still at the community center. We are still working with the city of Willcox. And the FFA kids come, they do the greeting, they do the cleanup. The school helps the FFA kids. Dave Bonner is going to kind of supervise the FFA kids. They're going to cook steaks this year. So it has grown into this huge, important event in Willcox. I mean, we honor the Cowboys throughout the whole valley. There's people from Douglas and Bisbee and Benson and Bowie, Bonita. You know, it's not just Willcox. It's the Cowboy, and it's the history of the whole area. And this year we are inducting Jay Dobson. I thought Sam was going to take my glory here because I have trouble remembering things. Jay Dobson, Marvin Hudson, and Rob Krentz are going in this year. They will be inducted. Rob is going posthumously, so his wife Sue will accept the plaque for Rob. And this year, with the 3 new inductees, we have now inducted 91 men and women into the Cowboy Hall of Fame. So Willcox should be very proud of that. I've been here short term, so I haven't really done a lot of it. Ellen Clark and Eddie Brown have been very instrumental in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. In fact, Eddie is the Cowboy Hall of Fame, let me tell you. I just turn it all over to him. He calls me, he tells me what to do, what to be, and it's his baby now. He has been our MC since 1987. So there were 2 years where he wasn't in here. He was when we first went to Phoenix, but he has been our MC every year, and he does just a terrific job. If you've never had a chance to come to Cowboy Hall of Fame, we invite you to come. Not this year because we are sold out. But it would be nice to have you there. So if there's any questions, I'm open. If not, thank you for having me.
The collection of all the pictures and the history is down here in the Rexall Museum, and it's amazing to go in there. You've got, she said, 90 people over the years, and it is a great way of maintaining our history and knowing what's happened here, because most of those people have died.
A lot of them have.
I think there's only a handful of the inductees that are still alive, and a lot of history there. And I'd encourage everyone to go by and check it out.
We brought my mother over here. She passed away this past March at the age of 95. My parents had lived in Wachita area and this whole southwest area since 1950. My dad in 57, my mom early 58, where the town was. And they remembered, and knew some of the old cowboys firsthand. And so we brought her over to the museum, but she hadn't been in years. And she really enjoyed it. So it's well worth it.
We get people that come every year that say, this is the only time that Martha and Earl and I get together is at the Cowboy Hall of Fame, because we live in Bonita and they live in Douglas. And so it's a big networking opportunity and a catching up opportunity for people. Sherry just asked me how you get inducted into the Cowboy Hall of Fame, and the process is, if you know a cowboy that you would like to have inducted into the Cowboy Hall of Fame, you write a letter, you send it to the chamber, you give all the reasons why you think this person should be in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. Excuse me. And then I turn that over to Eddie. Eddie has a committee of the past inductees. He sends it out to these people, and then they discuss and pick who's going to be inducted this year. I went to one meeting when I first came here, and it's hilarious. It's just a hoot to sit at the table and listen to these guys talk about, he wasn't a rancher, he wasn't a cowboy, he was, he worked at a feed store, right now. Or, she was a true cowgirl, and she was really, on the horse. And, I mean, they remember every fall these guys have taken, every, snake they stepped on, whatever. They've got so much history with the people in the area, so it was interesting. So if you know of somebody you would like to submit, please write me a letter, get it to me, and I will.
Is this just for the county, Cochise County?
It's the whole area. I mean, there's people in there from the whole southern area of Arizona, southeastern Arizona.
Well, we have cowboys and cowgirls in our area too.
I'm sure you do.
Start writing. Start writing.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll have to confess that the last time that I was on a working horse was with Eddie Browning's grandfather.
Is that the one you put the quarters in?
We rode for about 5 hours back into a well site, back on the mule shoe ranch. I think that's the last time that I was on a working horse, and I swore I'd never get back on a horse.
You want to buy one?
appreciate Kathy being here and sharing those things with us. We don't know for sure where our city manager's at today. There's a rumor going around that he bought a vehicle from one of the councilmen and it died on him. He hasn't made it back yet. He'd been to the ICMA conference and we thought maybe we could get a little short report from him. He didn't make it back. Anyway, we do appreciate you being here. Invite you back anytime. Got a question?
I was just wondering who owned that beautiful black Cadillac out
It's actually a Buick. Yeah.
Jesus don't want
there.
nobody.
Is it yours, Sam?
It's
I'm
mine.
sorry. Okay.
It's a 49 Buick Super.
Wow.
So
It's beautiful.
we like to drive it. Mayor Gomez is always challenging me to drive it to the mayor manager's luncheon, and the air conditioner doesn't work too well. You roll the windows down and it's got the 460 system on it. You roll it down and drive 60 and you hope you survive. Winter's coming. We do appreciate all of you. Come back and see us and we'll see you next month, I believe. I forgot who it is next month. We'll be somewhere. We'll take care going home and we'll see you the next one.
Thank you, Stan.